Back office overload, the administrative things that nobody wants to do, but ends up taking over our lives.
Oh man, a painful topic. Because we know most founders don't start their company to spend their days managing payroll approvals, onboarding, and making 47 different software tool selections, but somehow this is where we all end up.
Welcome to VI Live, where the CEO dreams it and the COO makes it happen. Here are your hosts, Lori McCall and Ashley Labs.
All right, Ashley, I had our AI agent create a little question game for us. It's silly questions for serious founders. If our pitch deck was turned into a musical, what would the opening number be called?
I'm a Dave Matthews fan, and he's got a song. It's called "The Best of What's Around." So I'm gonna go with that. I like it.
I like that. I like that. So since we're in founder dad joke world, Series A in G minor.
I like that. The venture capitalist in the room is gonna go with the Series A.
Dad jokes for VCs. Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Yes.
All right, let's get this started.
All right. Well, welcome back to VI Live, a podcast for founders where vision gets integrated live with all of you. I'm Ashley, COO of Womennovation, and today we're talking about something that's killing a lot of startups quietly. Back office overload, the administrative things that nobody wants to do, but ends up taking over our lives.
Oh man, a painful topic. Because we know most founders don't start their company to spend their days managing payroll approvals, onboarding, and making 47 different software tool selections, but somehow this is where we all end up. And as I said, most of us start our company because we're really good in what we would want our company to solve, but oftentimes we end up holding other roles in marketing, HR, payroll, finance, ops, all of those other areas. So let's get into the back office admin hell that we've all been through.
So looking into this, immediately Star Wars comes to mind. It's a trap. At one point, Lori and I were spending half of our week on tasks that didn't require our brains. We're just clicking, checking, chasing things down. And, we go to that moment of, okay, we thought we were going to be doing all of these things. Next thing you know, we're doing none of those things.
Absolutely. And I know this week I talked with another founder who was in back office hell, and it brought all the memories back. I mean, my expertise is strategy and problem solving. And there were many, many days many weeks where I didn't touch strategy. I wasn't touching the things that help grow the business. And it wasn't because we were doing anything wrong. It's almost just part of the process when you start companies or when you start businesses. And it's because we just hadn't built the systems yet. And there's many reasons why systems weren't built. Sometimes it's not in the budget. Sometimes they're not needed yet. And sometimes, it all happens at once.
So what did we do? We did what we always do and take a step back, put on the brakes, and we asked ourselves, what are we doing over and over again? What are those repeatable tasks? How can we automate things? How can we put things into process? And we mapped the entire back office, finance, onboarding, support, and reporting, and we're still putting repeatable process into place. This is an ongoing effort. This isn't something that is definitely one and done. These are things that as you grow and scale, things do evolve and change in terms of the process automation and the processes that need to be updated. This is something that can be ongoing, but it's something that we know we can improve upon and automate and make sure we have an eye on the repeatable side of things as we go.
And I love that. The goal is simple. If it repeats, it could be systematized. And obviously we weren't trying to replace people, we were trying to protect our focus. And I like it because we've created a framework and started helping other companies with the same kind of issue as you look at what can you automate and leverage AI around. But it starts simple. And Ashley, you started to kind of identify this, which is step one, identify your key workflows. Those are 5 repetitive, time-consuming tasks that you and your team do regularly. And then assess each task. What is the friction? Is it manual? Does it have many steps? Is it slow? How often is it repeated? Is it repeated daily, weekly, monthly? And then what is the value of your founder or COO time? What is the value of your leadership time that could be freed up? So what is the opportunity cost of that? You know, how many hours do you spend doing this? What is the value of your time? What is the total cost of that? And if you look at what's the total cost, that helps you get down to mapping where you start. Where do you start first? So I was talking to someone this week where they're like, payroll, accounts payable because I have a ton of vendors that come through. Accounts receivable, I've got to turn a lot of invoices out quickly. All of those kind of things that hit those back office pain points, and they're brutal. So as we kind of share, if you can't delegate what you can't delegate what you haven't defined. And so our process was to really go through and define those pain points, and then we just knock them off one at a time,
Absolutely. So here are the 3 AI agents that changed everything for us and ones that we work with every day. Client onboarding agent sets up the entire client journey without a human touch. Finance snapshot agent gives us weekly margin insights from Stripe, QuickBooks Online, and Notion. So it gives us a really great insight in terms of our financial situation from a leadership perspective. Content agent summarizes meetings, draft posts, and writes client-facing updates. So again, great, quick AI agents that support us in our daily tasks.
And I think that's great from the automation side. And in some cases, if you take a step back, I've always looked at this as a people, process, and technology standpoint. So if you've identified the processes, you've identified the technology, you can then identify the ways that you can, make the decision of what you systemize and how. So if we look back to how much time we saved by just automating, delegating, and also finding, like in some cases, just really good vendor partners that do these things really well, if it's not meaningful for like back office, that also makes there's a lot of advantage to that. So time saved is nice, but headspace saved is magic. That is the takeaway.
Absolutely. So when we decide what to hand off, we ask, does this require judgment? Does this move the needle? If not, then we automate it.
And if it takes time, drains energy, and doesn't scale the business, it's a candidate for automation or delegation, period. Not all work deserves your attention. Most of it just needs a system.
Absolutely. The truth is, admin doesn't disappear. Those administrative things are always going to be there, but founders don't have to be the ones doing it. Your time is your most strategic asset. Protect it with systems, guard it with agents, and get back to building the business you actually wanted to run. And so ask yourselves, what are the top 3 things you're doing manually that drain you every week? And answer that question and start systematizing and automating.
I love it. So drop us a comment. What are the top 3 things you're still doing manually that are draining you every week? And thank you to everybody for tuning in to BI Live, a podcast for founders and leadership teams who are in the messy middle of building. If you liked what you heard, don't forget us. We are on LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok at We Are WIM. And for any behind the scenes insights, tools, or other episodes, you can head to our website at wearewim.com. Until next time, protect the vision, drive the integration of solutions, and keep it flowing. Okay, before you, Ash, I got one more question for you.
Yeah.
If you were on a deserted island, if you are stranded, or we are stranded, if we are stranded on a deserted island and we can only bring one company KPI, which one and why?
Yeah, so, I think this is a great question, and it actually ties into a lot of things that align with the entrepreneurial operating system. So this was the inspiration behind the scorecard, if people don't know this. This is the question that Gino asked to really get people to drive to what are the things that you need on your scorecard, and that should be the things that leadership teams are looking at. So mine is cash flow, so I'm going towards the money. So
You're going to money. Can we burn the money? Is it a fire starter?
I just need to know where the cash flow is. So if we need to know where the business stands, we need to know where the cash flow situation is.
Well, I'm taking the net promoter score because, if that's fire, then we don't need any matches.
There we go. There we go. I love it.
Bad jokes for founders. Bad dad jokes.